Alright, so this is the LDARC V64 Mini RC van, 64 scale little micro RC car, and it does look very scale-like. So here's the Turbo Racing, obviously different company, 64 scale as well, or whatever 64 scale. You can kind of see that it matches up fairly well. Very similar, I think, in terms of the design. You got a you got a USB-C for charging there, and same on the Turbo Racing. Has a little button to power it on and off. And I think the Turbo Racing has a button over here somewhere as well to turn it on and off. So very similar in design, but obviously a different company. I'm not sure if they're partnered or whatever in terms of like how to put the car together, but I'm pretty sure at this scale there's only so much you can do in terms of, you know, brushless motors and gears and stuff. I'm sure it's very similar on the inside. I didn't tear it apart, but in terms of the scale, in terms of the fit and finish, very nice, very comparable to the Turbo Racing series. You can get a closer look here at the paint job. It's got a glossy finish here, white paint and blue paint. This is the blue color. It does come in gray, yellow, and orange, I believe, are the other four colors. This was sent to me by Makerfire, and they just sent the van or the car by itself. It does bind up with this the CT01 transmitter. This is from LDARC as well. This transmitter came with the M58 ready to run, so I did a video on that one. Check my channel if you want to see that video. But this controller came with that one. It's also from LDARC, so this this transmitter will bind up with this no problem, and there are instructions included in the box on how to do that, and I will show you at the end of the video how to bind up this to the transmitter. If you happen to have the transmitter already, you can just get the car. Of course, it's going to be a bit cheaper. So there's a version where you can get just the car by itself, a version with the car and the transmitter, and then there's a pro version, which I think comes with the car, the transmitter, and a case. Anyway, in terms of all the functions, it works the same as I did on the M58. You have a throttle trim and a steering trim, and you have different rates for those. So, you know, basically you have like red is like ultra aggressive rates, and then white is like neutral, sort of average, and then green is like beginner. So you can adjust the steering and throttle based on how fast or how slow you want it to steer, and also how fast you want it to accelerate. You can also adjust settings a little bit more fine-tuned minutely in the advanced settings in the controller or these transmitter settings as well. So if you want to control a little bit better, you can. I did, well, I might as well get right into how it runs and everything. I'll explain how the transmitter felt to me. So it's very comparable to the Turbo Racing series. I mean, almost uncanny. It's in terms of speed, acceleration, it's pretty much on par, just the same as the C75, although it is a bit heavier, so it's not quite as fast as the C75. Plus the C75 here, it's so fast that it'll just do like it'll just skid out, and you kind of just loses grip to the ground, whereas this is a lot heavier, so it doesn't lose grip. So it actually accelerates, I think, smoother than the C75. Now, I've seen there's a like a video clip on the product page for this, where they have a bunch of these guys on a larger track than that I have here than inside my house, but there are a bunch of these guys racing these around on a track. And yeah, you can fine tune the settings in the transmitter to get that dialed into the way you like. I think my track is just a little bit too small for the speed of this. I can drive it around kind of slow on my track, and I have pretty good control in terms of like getting it around. I'm not terribly fast because the track is just too tight for the speed of this, and it's able to go up the second level of the track in terms of the uphill climb. No problem. It's got plenty of power. It's just that the track's a little bit too small to really do any racing on this track that's just too tiny. I think on a larger track, as you can see in that other clip, it is possible. You can see guys are really ripping this thing around pretty nice. It definitely has a lot of power. It runs really smooth, has pretty good fine-tuned controls with the transmitter. in terms of controlling the speed and the steering, so you can dial it in pretty well if you're on a little bit larger track than what I have. I'd say mine's probably about 25% the size of what they were running, maybe even less, like 20% of the size of the track that they were running it on, where it was going to go a lot faster. So you need a larger track with not as tight of turns to be able to go faster if you want to be racing these around. So not sure how cool it is to race around a minivan, but hey, those of you that want to race around a minivan, this is the one to go for. And of course you got lights and everything here that you can control on these different channels on the transmitter, so you can turn these on. These high beams here, you can turn the lights on and off over here. So it's on this channel over here. Turn them on, and then you got high beams as well. Of course, you've got your regular parking lights here for going forward, and then when you reverse, this is your reverse lights for your brake lights. So forward, brake, and then the reverse. So you got all your lights on here, pretty cool. Got some undercarriage lights as well, red and blue, and some purple there. So overall, pretty nice little RC car. Definitely, I think, worth checking out. It's like $57 right now if you already have the transmitter. So obviously, if you don't have the transmitter, you're going to want to pick that up. I don't know what multi-protocol this is compatible with, so I already know this. People are going to ask me those questions. I did do a little research on that, and I did not find anything that talked about the protocol this is running. So I have no idea what this is running. If someone out there happens to know what protocol this guy is running, I would definitely like to do that. Would like to know that, and then I will share that in the video description later if someone happens to happen to have the information. And then maybe if you guys want to see a video later, I might do a video on how to bind this up with the Radiomaster MT12. And I think that one's a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit easier to program than this transmitter. This is not a bad transmitter, pretty good transmitter actually, but I think the MT12 is going to give a little bit more flexibility with Edge TX. But yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know as well if someone happens to know what the protocol this is that is compatible with a multi-protocol module. Definitely would like to try the MT12 with this for sure. Anyway, overall, lots of fun. All these little micro RC cars are definitely lots of fun. You just kind of need a little bit larger track, I think, to race these around, and this will definitely be very competitive with the Turbo Racing series. So if you are addicted with those Turbo Racing cars and those little micro racers, this will fit in really nicely in terms of the scale size and everything. I think it'll definitely fit in with the rest of those. Anyway, link will be down in the video description if you guys want to check this one out. That'll do it for this video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Alright, so this is how you can bind up your V64, this little minivan, to the CT01 transmitter, and this is the one that came with the M58. That was the ready to run kits that included the car plus the transmitter. This is the CT01, and they have some instructions that came with the little van here. So the first thing you gotta do is number one there, press the bind key, power on the vehicle until the green blue LED fast blinks, and so that means it's in bind mode. So the bind button's right here, and use a little screwdriver to hold that in. Okay, and then this short press the power button. So I have a fast blinking blue and green light, so it's in bind mode now. Alright, so number two is select a bind telemetry on or telemetry off under the transmitter settings advanced menu. And it says that the vehicle will red-blue slow blink or red-green slow blink after bind success. So let's go into the settings here. Go to advanced. So we'll do bind telemetry on. And let me bring this over here so you can see the light change in the lights. Go ahead and bind. There we go. So we've got a red and blue slow blinking light, so it should be bound now. So then third step is to exit transmitter from bind menu and cycle vehicle power. Go ahead and turn this off. And turn it back on. Got a beep from the transmitter, so should be, yep, so it's working now. So we got steering. Throttle should be working. Looks like this channel is for the lights. Turns that on and off. So with the lights on, you get some reverse lights. Looks like this channel over here is for high beams. So it looks like everything's working.